Nathan, are you on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're fine. All right, here we are. Good morning and welcome to the Muscatine County Board of Supervisors meeting. Today is Monday, November 29th, 2021 at 9 a.m. First item on the agenda is to review the agenda.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
A motion by Jeff, second by Scott. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. All right. Any opposed? 5-0. Okay, the next item is discussion and possible action to approve the claims dated November 29th, 2021 in the amount of $832.22.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Jeff.
Can I get a second to say a few minutes?
Yep.
I just got one question on this one. I'd like to hear a little bit more about the chair, that's the last item on page 2.
Okay. We have a motion by Jeff, a second by Scott, and we have some discussion. So we're gonna have some discussion. I'm just following up with that, Nathan. So,
Well, I got discussion before with the motion, if approved or denied.
okay. So right now, we have the attorney Jim presenting real quick, and then we'll have a comment, and then we can get to yours. Is that all right?
No, that's fine.
All right, Nathan.
Thank you and good morning. I thought it might be appropriate to say a few words about the expense claim as it pertains to the county attorney's office. You'll start to see a change in the way things have been done from what was done in the past. And more specifically, that relates to payments to the Muscatine County Sheriff's Department for service fees, for subpoenas, for witnesses and victims involved in criminal cases. Several months ago, I had been in contact with Sherry relative to trying to track those costs because as we come out of COVID, our office has been asked to set multiple cases on any given Monday and Wednesday. And that's resulted in a pretty good amount of work having to be done to notice people. We can only do one trial, but we might have as many as 6 or 7 scheduled. And we have to notice all those people and then figure out which one's gonna go and then call everybody off. And so we've gone through this gymnastics approach coming out of COVID because of the backup of cases. That I wanted to see what that impact was just financially to the county and to the office. And as I inquired about the costs for the sheriff's service, it was determined that my office has not been paying the sheriff directly for those fees and expenses like we would Lynn, Scott, Jackson, anybody else we have served. Those sheriff's offices send the bill to the county attorney's office. We pay the bill and it comes out of our witness fee line item on the budget. So what we decided to do in talking with Sherry to create a truer picture and to get the sheriff paid for these expenses rather than waiting for payment through the clerk as to when and if it ever comes, to go ahead and pay out of the line item in the budget so we can keep everything up to date and accurate in both offices and maybe track things a little bit better than we were just given the way that it was being handled. Not a criticism, it'll just allow us to handle things more appropriately. So you'll see by way of example that that's added, there's probably a good 15 to 18 charges to the sheriff that are all service fees to serve witnesses and victims with subpoenas to make sure they attend trials. And so I wanted to bring it to your attention because I think you'll see as the months go by here, that number is going to start to go up. And at the end of the year, there's going to be far less left in that line item than there has been in previous years because we haven't been using it in its entirety to pay all those expenses, if that makes sense. Just felt like you should understand that.
Okay.
So that's all I had.
Jim, as far as postage for the jury duties and those calls, are those also attained?
That comes out of our
That comes out of
postage
your-
budget, but
Okay.
yeah, it's, what I was trying to do was figure out the impact. So that if there was a COVID impact that we could make claim for under the, the recovery monies, which is now passed, that we'd be able to do that and maybe recover those expenses. but it also, I think, provides a truer picture of expenditures and receipts in both departments. And it helps you understand that the way it's being handled by the court system, probably the best thing we can do is what we're doing, but it does create an enormous amount of work for Trish, work and rework. It's not like you notice the case and it goes away. You notice the case, and if it doesn't settle, you notice it again, and if it doesn't settle and doesn't get priority status, you do it again and again and again. And so some of these cases, we are setting and noticing victims and witnesses multiple times. And that's just the nature of the beast as we try to come out of it. But I just felt like you should understand that, because you may have noticed there was more expense this month, and a lot of it will have to do with that.
Okay,
Okay?
all right,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, moving on to Nathan's comment. I think, Nathan, can you elaborate the question again?
Sure, so I just saw a charge, it looks like it's for a chair, it's the end of the second page of the claims and bills, 7,700 or so left, I just wonder if that's not giving all the information, or what the story there is.
Nathan, both of my financial people are not here today, so I can't answer that question directly now, but I can certainly get some information for you and get back to you.
Okay, that's fine, and then.
I will not-
You then, Nancy,
I will note that it's paid out of the commissary fund, so it's not taxpayer dollars being used to pay for this chair.
okay, and one other question I had, if you just pass on, Nancy, is, I noticed, I think it's on page 5, there's a line for electricity, looks to be the old barn under the conservation budget. Are we still paying the utilities? I thought part of our deal was that we offload the cost of that.
Hang on, I'm trying to find,
I believe that went to the conservation board,
I-
did it not?
I believe the conservation board pays that, but I could find that one out for you too. Oh, this is, the MP, the one I'm seeing, oh, there's several of them here. I see which one you're talking about. I believe that does fall on to the conservation board, but I will check that one for you as well.
Thank you much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have a motion by Jeff, a second by Scott with a follow-up on those questions and comments. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Alright,
I vote aye. Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item number 4, this is items of the county engineer, Keith White, and the first item is discussion and possible action to approve the various utility permits.
Good morning.
Morning, Keith.
We have two today. The first is from Eastern Iowa REC of Wilton, Iowa, and they are, I guess they're both from Eastern Iowa REC. And they are, they're wanting to install an overhead electric for a new house at 1985 Geneva Hills Road, so they're just spanning across the road there. And the other one is they are wanting to bore electric along the right-of-way on 170th from the new, or not new, but the expanding substation up on Highway 38 east to a transmission pole.
How long does that run?
They are not specific, it's not very long,
Okay.
in the few hundred feet, and they're noting they're leaving 1,000 feet of cable for pulling into the substation. So it's just a connection
Just to,
for
okay.
that transmission pole to the substation, or the expanded substation.
All right.
I'll move for the approval.
A motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Doug. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? All right. Moving on to the next item, discussion and possible action to approve the tractor and mower purchase.
Yes, we have a quote there from Tiger Corporation in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It is a boom mower, which we have not had. We have rented in the past, a couple times, boom mower. So the real hope is to be able to reach out and get some of the small brush with the boom. So these are off of Sourcewell bids, and I can send you a link on Sourcewell if you want to read more about that, but I mentioned the last time it's like Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, Nebraska. It's similar to a state contract, and I mentioned last time it's actually a little less money than the same stuff off the state of Iowa contract. Currently, the newest tractor and mower, which is not a boom we have, is a 2000. And then we have one considerably older than that. So this is what we're looking at doing. We did rent one this last year, and it's something that everybody really liked. So
The 6110, I'm assuming it's a front wheel assist machine?
yes,
And that should be, if memory serves me correct, about 100 horse machine?
yeah, I think it's maybe a little more like, I think the 110 signifies 110.
Is it 110 horse?
Yeah. I'm looking for it on here.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that that's what that is, though. Is
Yeah,
110.
it's probably 110 gross, so that would be my guess. Okay, nice machine. Very nice machine.
I would move the approval.
And I would second.
We have a motion by Jeff, a second by Scott. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to item number C, projects update.
Yeah, projects update. Not a lot of change from the last week. The bridge northeast of Nichols, the earthwork is done. The guardrail should go in this week and final erosion control, so it will probably be ready to go final this week, and then the DOT will come and do their thing, since it's a swap project, and that's really all that's new in the project world, getting the time of year when we wind down. Our salt, I actually had a missed call here. They're supposed to come treat our salt this week. We always treat the stockpile. And so unless they've changed, coming sooner or later, that's about all that's new.
Keith, I think it was a couple weeks back, I had requested about getting some pictures updates on some of those projects. I don't know if we still had time to get some of that. If you have time, if we could
visit
get
with
something.
Bill, but I haven't talked with him again about if we could make some link that the public could go see them somewhere, because we have a lot.
Well,
We can certainly put 2 or 3 out on the website, but
okay, just something that kind of shares a little bit of what you guys have been doing, and if we can get something, maybe if you work with Bill or however it may come out easier for you.
sure.
Not anything that takes a lot of time, but something that hopefully we can get something. Okay. Any other items? Okay, thank you, Keith. All right, moving on to item number 5. This is discussion and possible action to approve the change order number 20R in the amount of $2,278.86.
Maybe if,
You wanna do all 3 of these here?
yeah, I can go through them kind of real quickly, one by one. 20R, and I think you have Mike's memorandum as well that summarizes them pretty adequately. When we were getting close to handing over phase 1 booking area to the jail, and they were starting to look at where they were gonna place their equipment on the countertops and desks, they noticed that there was not a 220 outlet that they need for a vacuum sealing machine that they seal personal property in when a person is booked in or or not booked in, but incarcerated for a length of time. They sealed property up. The original booking area had a 220 outlet, and somehow it was not caught in the electrical inventory apparently for what was to be demoed and replaced. So there was not a new 220 outlet spec'd on that countertop. So it's a machine that they use all the time. So we're gonna have one put in. Just one outlet for that specific machine. All the rest of them are 110. So that's 20R. I don't know if you want to approve them one at a time or just.
Do-
you want me to go through
Nancy, do you wanna approve each one, or do we wanna approve all three of them at once?
It doesn't matter, you can do it either way.
Okay, we'd do all three at once, if we just go over all of them. So this is, number 21 is in the amount of $2,578.41.
Yep, 21, both 21 and 22 address some sprinkler heads. 21, I did have to approve right away to get it moving. Tri-City Fire was on site, and the potential was there for them to not be back for another month or so until they are working in phase 2. There was a couple sprinkler heads that had to be relocated, and as part of the new security ceiling in an area that didn't have that security ceiling before. And once you move and remove and relocate these sprinkler heads, they have to be replaced by the fire code. It was not spec'd in the original plan for those to be taken down and replaced. That had to get moving, so I approved that one right away. So we had some quick conversation about, okay, what about phase 2 and some of the other areas, and so that's what 22 covers, is a couple more that have to be replaced because of the relocation with the security ceiling. They were oriented in an up position, they needed to be oriented down and put in that special security ceiling, and then you have to use new sprinkler heads, according to the architect and the engineers.
So number 22 is for $1,193.46 for the record.
Yep.
Okay, so we have,
I'll move their approval.
all right, this is a motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Scott, and this is for change order number 20R in the amount of $2,278.86, number 21 in the amount of $2,578.41, and number 22 in the amount of $1,193.46. All those in favor signify by aye.
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 I vote aye as well. Any opposed? All right.
Just an update, they did get switched over at least somewhat functionally into the new booking area. There's some odds and ends that are being cleaned up, but they are in the phase over. I know Bill and Christie were over there before the holidays getting computers set up. There's a few things that have to be worked out, but we've turned over some.
We've turned
most of
over.
that new booking area, yeah.
Did we get the items addressed with the Johnson's controls in the system? They'd had some questions in regards to trying to schedule in that with the fire system.
I believe they did. They had fire watch on site for a while, but they had to do that while they had the Johnson Control working on some of those issues, but I believe those were resolved for
Okay.
that phase. So, yeah, they're utilizing the new booking area in a limited capacity. It's been a very challenging time right now because with temporary partition walls, they don't have full use of all the new holding cells that'll come online when the project is complete. It's taken a lot of coordination between Captain McCleary and Swanson, particularly as they made the jump and where the walls, the temporary walls meet the ceilings that aren't quite done yet. Those are security issues, but they are utilizing some of the new space, so.
Good, good. All right, thank you, Eric. Okay, moving on to item number 6, discussion and possible action to allow the 2021 business property tax credit application as recommended by the county auditor.
Okay, I believe you have this in your packet, or the book was made available to you in the administration office.
Yes.
There were no applications that were denied during this time period of 2021.
I'll move the approval.
We have a motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Doug. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? All right, 5-0. Okay, moving on to item number 7, discussion and possible action authorizing the chair to sign the city school statement of election costs for November 2nd, 2021, Muscatine County City School elections with the Muscatine County Auditor, Tybee Vander Linden.
Okay, and I hope you've had time to review this. This is billing out the election cost to the 18 different entities that were part of our city school election. The costs are distributed based on the different election costs listed, such as programming, ballot printing, publications, polling place rent, election officials, postage, mileage. And it is by tax authorities per location and per candidate in elections that are distributed amongst each of them per a full spreadsheet.
I'll move the approval.
Motion by Jeff,
Second.
second by Scott. Any discussion? All right, well, got that one before, Nathan. So all those in favor signify by aye.
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 I vote aye. Any opposed? All right. Moving on to item number 8, this is discussion and possible action to approve the minutes of November 22nd, 2021's regular meeting.
Move to approve.
Motion by Scott. Second by Jeff. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
I vote aye. Any opposed? All right, moving on to correspondence. Jeff?
Nothing to note.
Nathan?
So basically, all I have to note are the emails that are forwarded to all of us, the IUB public meetings notice, the unemployment data that you had forwarded, COVID stuff and the like. Other than that, I have nothing.
Okay. And I pretty much have the same things that we had to follow up on that. I think the only other thing that I may have had is I came in to sign that letter of support that Keith had written up for, I believe, the house that we had that set up for. Scott?
I just had, the COVID updates and the emails is all I had.
Okay. Doug?
I had the same.
All right. Moving on to committee reports. Jeff?
None.
Nathan?
None for me either.
None for me either. Scott?
None for myself either.
Doug?
None.
Wow. Well, it was a holiday week, so appreciate everybody not scheduling meetings. Moving on to item number 11. This is items with the administration office.
I don't have anything this morning.
Okay. All right, moving on to item number 12. This is receive information from county employees.
I did reach out to Matt to clarify those chairs, Matt McCleary with the jail. There were 20 chairs purchased.
Okay.
$385 a chair. Just,
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I just
Okay.
asked him via text how many he bought. Or they bought, I should say.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Good, thank you. All right, moving on to item number 13, and this is receive comments from the public. Oh, wait, yeah, is there any other county employees? I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. Any comments from the public? All right, hearing none, it is 9:23, and the meeting is adjourned.